What's up, people? Welcome to Friday Night WrestleCast, episode 451. Alright, at least that's what I'm telling people right now. Yeah, this is it. This is the big one. Again, that's what I'm telling myself, just to get hyped. Elimination Chamber. Who cares, right? That's it. Honestly, this is depressing. We're over here talking about predictions. This is a prediction show. I'm going to introduce everyone in a second. I'm just still a little heated after seeing this card because I want to be excited. I remember when these chamber matches were exciting, and I'm not that excited now. But anyway, my name is Adam Vale. I am the host of Friday Night WrestleCast over here on the Koalition, and I'm joined by Sister Dana. What's up, Sister Dana? There we go. Sister Dana always muting us. All right, and then we also got Ricky. What's up, Ricky?
How's it going, Adam? Are you psyched for In Your House Elimination Chamber?
That is exact. They might as well just call it In Your House. At least have the little intro, which was also whack. Remember that with the house and everybody walking through, and it's like no, that don't look right. A little House on the Prairie type of stuff thing. All right, Rich, are you still here?
Yes, can you hear me?
There we go. All right, for those people, Rich is in transport mode. He's moving around right now, so he'll get settled. But right now, it looks like he's on the road, and he phoned in, so he's good. All right, good. All right, so people, as you know, we did not cover the AEW pay-per-view. This recently one. So the main issues, we had other things going on. We had Ricky and Rich over at the Wonderful PAX event. That was massive. It was super fun. Everybody loved it, right? It was fun. Okay, all right.
I had a good time.
You had a good time. You played WrestleMania, right?
There was a WrestleMania game. Yep. Pretty much a clone of WrestleFest and
WrestleFest or Superstars.
WrestleFest.
Really?
Like,
it felt
yep.
like that. It looks like Superstars.
You're talking about the first one that Technos did, right? Superstars before WrestleFest.
Yeah, there was Superstars, and then later we got the WrestleFest. But Superstars they were a little smaller. WrestleFest, as you know, is the big bulky guys.
I thought it looked more like WrestleFest, but I mean, I do know what you're talking about with Superstars, how the characters were a little tinier.
Yeah, and then you had DiBiase and Andre. They were the bosses. And that one, they were the final boss tag team you had to get to.
Yep.
You know, that one was all tag team. All right. You enjoyed it? It was fun?
Yeah, I had a good time. Got to, be a media member for the Koalition out there, all 4 days. And, had a few appointments, I guess you could say, with other developers, and it was a good time.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So, yeah, because of that, and we had some other things, and Sister Dana got a new PC she was working on, so we're trying to get situated with that. I'm like, all right, we'll just do a little follow-up after, because I'm pretty sure it was going to be a solid show. And I was right, and I think we were all expecting a solid pay-per-view. So far, they've delivered. I think the only one that I wasn't too thrilled about regarding AEW pay-per-views was the Fyre Fest. That one was like, whatever. But all the other ones have been solid. And this one, man, this one was... It's like when you're watching these matches, and especially the storytelling behind these matches, it just... I guess it's great. It's hard to... I don't want to be just like everyone else with the broken record. It's like, oh, well, it doesn't compare to WWE. No, it's its own thing. And it's starting to really feel like its own thing. You can't compare it. It's just different. And that's great. That's great because it reminds me of the old ECW. Not with the gore and all that craziness, but just the fact that when you talked about ECW to someone, they were like, oh, like WWE? It's like, no, it's different. And that's the way I feel about AEW. Somebody was like, oh, well, you mean, is that like WWE? No, it's different. I mean, come on now. Orange Cassidy, that match, we would never see a match like that.
The show.
Yeah, we would never see. It was so creative and amazing, and it just, again, this is something, even if it was on NXT, I don't think they would be able to pull it off. Yeah, so it's just different. We can like everything that we like about other shows and promotions, but right now I'm starting to feel like AEW is really coming into its own that, hey, it's a different type of show. It's its own form of wrestling. Yeah, it's got some names that you may know, and we have a few more names that are rumored to show up. from WWE, but it doesn't mean that they are going to bring that WWE mentality with them. It's not going to be that way, and it's fine. I'm cool with it. This is great. I'm excited. So we're going to start off with Dana. Dana's got some little notes we're going to go through, and then after that we'll do the rundown of Elimination Chamber and give our predictions. I don't know who's going to watch it, but if you have no plans of watching it or you're sort of curious, then go ahead, listen to the rest of the show, and make your choice from there. If it's worth your time, if not, then you can pass on it and wait for Mania. All right, so Dana, what do you got today? What's going on?
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yay. All right. And by the way, I'm surprised you like the Orange Cassidy match since, they was moving really fast.
What are you trying to say?
You don't like
jabs at me? Is this it? Uh-oh. And we're going to ring the bell? That's it? We're having a match now? This is it? Holy shit.
Well, first off, Matt Hardy is trying to still be mysterious with his role. And he gave an interview with Sports Illustrated that's basically kind of saying that he is in talks with everyone on whether he is going to appear. He says that his goal is to legitimately surprise people and to draw emotion from them. I always want to entertain the audience and to keep them guessing. I'll make my decision within the next 30 days, and it could be by next week. So even though he says that he is very close with the Bucks of Youth, he is not necessarily saying that he is signed with AEW.
Wait. None of this makes sense. When did he make this statement?
He made this statement today, March 6th.
That doesn't make sense. He had that video on Wednesday.
I know, but
that
he
video
still
shows the Bucks of Youth. They pick him up in the SUV. What, they were going for donuts? Come on now. They're picking him up to bring him to the promotion. Makes no sense.
He is a free agent, he's saying.
He can still be a free agent. If anything, maybe he'll pull a Mox and just travel around. I don't think he would want to do that. He's a family man. He's got kids. I don't think he wants to do the whole, I'm going to Japan. I'm going back to Ring of Honor for a few matches. I don't think he wants to do the rounds.
Who knows? But he also did say that he would love to battle Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen. But Ricky, you saw that video, right? The video that he posted on his YouTube channel?
I haven't had a chance to actually see that yet.
Oh, well, real quick rundown. He's back at the compound, and he's checking off his list and talking about how he got killed by Randy Orton, and Zion is coming back, and he needs to get released, and he needs help, and he's just going into all this mumbo-jumbo in his head, a lot of fast cutscenes, and then all of a sudden an SUV shows up, and it's the Young Bucks, and they get out, and he's like, oh, you came to save me, or something to that effect. But they show up. You clearly see them. It's them. And then that's it, and it's over. So
that's not the Young Bucks.
That was the Young Bucks.
Oh. It was the Bucks of Youth.
Well, oh my, there you go, Dana. There you go. You know what? See, it's one of those days. But this is what I'm saying. So yeah, the Bucks of Youth. But the point is that was released on Wednesday before Dynamite. So even when people are like, oh, he's gonna be the Dark Lord leader, I'm like, where do you see that? Because the Bucks are feuding with that group, so it makes no sense that they would pick him up, bring him to the show, all out of not keep kayfabe with the whole thing. It just doesn't make sense. So I was like, all right, well, he's definitely coming, but he's not going to be the Dark Lord leader. It's going to be somebody else. And they pretty much gave that away a few hours before the event with this video that he produced. But I'm pretty sure. Come on now, it's a no-brainer for him to go there. Why not? Why not go there?
He has nothing else. Where else would he go?
It was his choice. He wants to be with his friends, and it's a lighter schedule, and everything's in his favor for this. We know
he has creative control over his character.
Yeah, he gets to use his character. He's very creative. It's going to work out for him. He knows that's where people want to. Come on, he's definitely not going to what? Is Shakara even around? I don't even know if Shakara's around.
I don't know.
But that's the only other place I could think of the broken gimmick really taking off. Definitely not going back to Impact. That's not a thing.
No one's going to Impact.
Which, right? There you go, Rich over there. He was hoping for that. Now he's scratching it off on his little checklist. He was like, shit, I wrote that down as number one spot. Now I got to cross it out. What about you, Rich? You think he's going anywhere else other than AEW?
No. It's very obvious he's going to AEW. We'll see how he is used at AEW. Obviously, there are a lot of people that are suspected to be the Exalted One, so... We'll see.
They did it. That's it, isn't it? It's cult. Colt
Colt?
Cabana.
Oh hell no!
Yeah.
He's not the exalted one.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about
Oh,
Cole.
you think it's Harper, Brody Lee? I don't think so. I think Brody Lee is going to be the one with that Jake the Snake was referring to as his client.
No, that's not Brody. That has to be Luke.
It could be
Who's Luke?
Luke is the same guy.
Luke
Yeah,
Harper.
Luke Harper. Yeah, Brody. Oh, we're
Harper's
talking about
Brody.
we're talking about Brody Lee. Live Luke Harper. I would call him.
But
That's
the other
what I'm
guy
saying.
could be is Lance Archer, Rich's favorite wrestler.
Oh,
Well. I that's not my favorite wrestler, but I also did see the tweet that Lance Archer retweeted that Jake the Snake segment, and that made you think, oh, well, what's that all about? So they want to misdirect people to think it's one person or the other. We'll just have to wait and see who it actually is. But it probably is Lance Archer because he was supposed to debut on AEW this week, and he wasn't there, probably for this reason because of the storyline of introducing Cody's next opponent. So
I was so happy to see Jake the Snake. He still has it. He can still shoot a promo. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome to see him, and that's a perfect role for him to be a manager. Perfect. That's something WWE definitely needs. When they used to be the house of managers, they had so many creative, colorful managers, and now what? Now we have no one. We have Paul Heyman. That come on now.
That's it.
Manager of one. That's not right.
And Selena was one.
Yeah, Selena. Is she still? Yeah, she's technically
She's still managing Humberto.
And then now, sort of, if you count Sami Zayn, if he is a manager / wrestler. But they used to have just like the Bobby Heenans and then Jim Cornette and all of those.
Harvey Whippleman.
Yeah, Harvey Whippleman. Harvey still works there. He works in the back. They could easily just put on the suit, give him a cigar, and say, "Come on, let's do this. Bring it back."
I like to see Dean Malenko.
He's over in AEW now. So, all right. What else you got?
Segue. Well, still talking about Matt Hardy. He recently also posted a photo with him over at the Impact, and he was with the executives, and he was praising how much he loves the show and misses it. So he's continuing to troll everyone.
That's not happening. I mean, yes, it's got new ownership, but I don't see him unless it's like for a big payday. I don't see him signing a full-time deal. I could see him maybe showing up for a special event, but yeah, I don't know about that.
Still, it was also announced that March 16th is around the corner, which is 3/16, which is Austin 3/16 Day, and that Steve Austin will be returning to Raw on March 16th to celebrate his big day with the universe, and that there will be exclusive merchandise available at the WWE shop that I know you're excited about. And also
I blocked that on my web browser. That's blocked.
Good Lord. There will also be a special Topps Austin digital card set. So get your digital card.
They need to slow their roll with all. You see what I mean? It's as if the WWE just like cancel and just went straight into nostalgia. Did they say, you know what? We're just done. Everything is old. That's it. Come on now, stop it. We're bringing these dudes back. I'm all for it when there's for a reason, but it's he's never gonna wrestle again, and that's what pisses me off. It's not his. It happened. What happened to him was horrible, but it sucks because every time we see him, what we want is not what we're going to get. So what's the point? What, they're going to celebrate, do a balloon drop, somebody's going to come in, maybe they'll get a stunner, and then that's it. Go out and buy some t-shirts. No, I don't want to do that. I'm tired of doing this shit. I'm tired of it. It's like a broken record. I don't want to do it anymore.
There's more, so don't cancel your WWE Network subscription.
Not till after Mania. Keep going.
Because there will be custom content on the network.
Custom? Like if I request a match, the two guys are going to wrestle for me exclusively? I want to see Ricochet versus somebody. They're going to do that?
What they mean is they're going to stream an entire marathon of his programming, including all new episodes of Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions, which will feature an in-depth interview with Bret Hart. So Yay!
No, I don't need that. I don't need that.
Oh my gosh!
The best thing that I've seen outside of wrestling that they've had is that R-Truth 24. Holy shit.
That was such a good.
That made me cry within like a few minutes into it. That needs to be advertised. R-Truth needs to be recognized more. That story alone, how did they never push that story?
Well, Brock
He met
Lesnar
his first promoter over in fucking prison? Come on now. You can't, that's not even, that's a movie script right there. Man's in prison. Guy's like, yeah, I'm a wrestling promoter. I can get you a wrestling gig when you get out. Oh, yeah, yeah, don't worry, I'll get you. You're going to be a champ. And then sure enough, he made it. Fucking crazy. That's an awesome story.
Yeah, I remember. I vaguely remember mentioning something about that when he was on the Edge and Christian's podcast like a while ago. And he alluded to like how he was in prison and everything, and how wrestling got him. It got him his life back.
See, I knew the story of him with the dark past, but I thought it was sort of a situation like Booker T, where once he got out, his brother got him into wrestling. Hey, you need to do something productive here in the gym here. I'm doing some wrestling things on the side. You want to join up with me? I thought it was something like that. I didn't know he actually met the dude in prison. And the guy said, don't worry, I got a job for you when you get out. That's awesome. See, you can meet nice people in prison. See, not all of them are fucking murderers and pedophiles and shit. There's some, did they say why the other dude went to prison? I don't remember. If he said why he was in there.
He was a drug dealer.
No. R-Truth was the promoter.
Oh, no, I don't think he said so. I don't believe so.
But it was cool. It was very cool. That whole story was cool. His family is cool. It's good to see that he is a funny dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we always hear about it. When you see on the dirt sheets all the time, and recently, the whole thing about Brock telling management that he wants to work with R-Truth in some way. He wants to do some kind of program with him. Hey, if you could win over Brock, who doesn't like anyone and doesn't give a shit about it, and he actually wants to work with you, you must be doing something right. You must be coming off very genuine.
But they were friends, so yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. How do you become Brock's friend? You have to be doing something that he likes. I don't think he hunts, right? R-Truth isn't a hunter.
No, but I would love to see an adventure.
And I'm not stereotyping. That's just something Brock said when he did that last special with Steve Austin. Remember when he was like, "Oh yeah, I like to hunt. I have They showed his living room. He had a 13-inch TV up on the wall, and he said it's only on the hunting and fishing channel. He doesn't do anything else besides train and hunt." I was like, that's fucking crazy. So that's what I'm saying. I was like, oh well, something else is in common with R-Truth. Maybe he just makes him laugh, and it's like, all right, you're a funny dude. Let's do some funny shit together.
I would like to see that on the network. Them just doing things together.
Oh, see, that could be a reality show right there.
There you go. Better than Total Divas.
All right, Total Divas.
Come on. Okay, so
all right, what else we got?
I know you're really excited about the network, and there's going to be new programming, which will include Dennis Rodman discussing his headline-making foray into the WWE wrestling and WCW. So remember when he was back in WCW?
Yes. Yeah, him, Karl Malone, we all remember. Mm-hmm. We try to forget that shit. So why is he bringing that back?
Because there will be a new series called WWE Untold, where he is going to basically give his side of the story. And it should be really fun. And he talks about Bash at the Beach, 1998. Also, what was it like working with Hogan and DDP?
Again, memory link. Don't give a shit. New content. No, don't tell me it's new content to talk about old shit. No. This is not what I want. Not what I want. Definitely
stuck in
not.
the attitude era.
Right? I'm telling you, it's like a forever loop. It's like walking into a retirement home and everyone is telling me their damn story. I don't care.
Wait, so how can you praise Jake the Snake, but then boo?
Jake the Snake is coming in as a manager, a new gimmick. He's not saying, hey, and let me tell you stories about what I did. And let me tell you about my job problems. No, he's there talking about a client. He's doing a completely different role. It's fresh. It's new. I don't care how Dennis Rodman got into wrestling. I don't care who he wrestled. I don't care how much that fucking Eric Bischoff paid him. I don't care.
Rodman's putting himself over, whereas Jake the Snake Roberts is putting over this client.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, okay, well, fine. Well, it will also include interviews. The series will have Hogan and DDP and Eric Bischoff. They will all have their own separate stories, and that's set to start on March 22nd. So, yay!
All right. Did they mention about the free tier? Because this has to be part of the free
No,
tier. Because no one's gonna pay for this shit.
they're not mentioning anything about their tier system because I think that they know they're going to lose money.
Well, I think what scrapped everything with the tier system is when they decided that they want to sell their pay per view rights to another network. Just doing that alone, I just if you do that, what do you think they're going to then pull all the pay per views off of the current tier, which is the only tier, the $9.99? If they do that, everyone's gonna unsubscribe. That's the only reason for keeping the damn network.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't believe it. I'm telling you, it's the carny life. It's straight up carny. Everything about Vince is carny. It's just like, oh, shit. I'm surprised he doesn't talk carny 24/7. Because it's all about who has the money, the highest bid. He doesn't give a shit about shit. The fact that he has all these different projects and shows on different networks, Hulu and Netflix. Meanwhile, he has his own damn network. They never ported any of those WWE produced movies. Hell, what happened to Lincoln? They did fucking Abraham Lincoln. That's not even. We don't have any of the Marines on there. None of that shit.
No.
I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, and it's all about money, and that's why I keep saying about the carny, because it's all about whoever's willing to pay. It's disregarding his own shit. Look at these shows in Saudi Arabia, breaking all the stories and just flying people out there and throwing these BS matches for what? For money. Doesn't give a shit. Doesn't care. Doesn't care.
Yeah.
I think it's insanity that they had these wrestlers fly out to Saudi Arabia for the Super Showdown, and then expecting them to fly back to the States the very next day in time for SmackDown. That was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. No need for that. No need for that. Have a special event. Do like make the Friday after that some special event day where anything can go, and you could see people from 205 and NXT and NXT UK and Raw. Have them do it. Stop bustling these people around. This is why they want to leave. This is why so many people are tired of it. It's not so much about, my creative and this and that and the paycheck. Some of them are getting paid well. It's just this crazy schedule. Flying all over the world and not spending time with your family. And
Yeah.
I just would like to make a quick comment. I absolutely agree with everything that has been said, especially Ricky's point. But I also didn't hear any of those wrestlers complaining, so they must be okay with having to make that trip.
No, don't you remember when they were told they can't say shit about anything on the social media?
Yeah, because remember last year when they big debacle, and then they nuzzled that.
They don't want to have any issues with the Saudis. So they're like, yo, keep your opinions to yourself. We're paying you, right? Yeah, you pay me. Then get the fuck on the plane. That's basically what they're saying. So know your role, right? They just taking the page out of the rocks. They know your role, get on the plane, do your fucking 5-10 minutes, go to the back, take a shower, change, and go sit back on the tarmac. That's it. You're done. You're done. So,
Yeah.
What else, Dana? What else? Because now I'm getting hot. I'm getting real hot now.
That basically seems to be it. It's been a pretty light week. And aside from WWE superstars congratulating Jake the Snake and that guy being really angry that MJF flipped off his son. It was
I get it. It was whatever. He's keeping a character. And whatever. I think it's just him playing a heel. Hey, he got the press. He's not dumb. He knew it was going to get press. And it did. So
keeping kayfabe alive.
That's it. Got to keep kayfabe alive. And it just makes sense. Think about it. If I know, let's say, because I'm a parent, I have kids, and I bring my boy, he likes wrestling. I was like, hey, you want to go to a wrestling show? Yeah. You see the bad guy? You want to say hi to the bad guy? Yeah. And he goes up, hey, bad guy, hi. And the bad guy says, hey, and gives a middle finger and walks away. My kid can't be surprised. Because I'm like, yo, he's a bad guy. I know he's a bad guy. He just did something that's bad, right? Yeah. Well, so there you go. Now let's go get popcorn. Because that was it. He's a heel. Case closed. Yeah. What do you expect?
If you didn't, It's a life lesson.
Yeah, there's no what do you expect? He's gonna come and he's gonna hug him and tell him his story about him being a fat kid and then hit the gym and now look at him. No, he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that. He's gonna stick to character, especially if there's others watching. So, yeah. I'm cool with it. That's it. I'm cool with it. He didn't spit in his face or go that extreme, so it's all right. And that's not the first time he's done it. Remember, he did that other one on social media when the guy was talking about his friend who was in the hospital and had some kind of surgery. And he cracked some joke about that to him, too. So.
Yeah.
But remember, right before the show, I was talking about the little issue that we have with the War Games version of AEW is putting together, the Blood and Guts, and how they got that name from what Vince, during his financial call, talking about how they weren't going to go down that road. What?
Sorry, I was going to say I actually have that clip.
All right, there you go. Bring it up. Do it.
Although, again, we're hoping that, to the extent that they are competition, that they don't continue on with blood and guts and gory things that they have been doing. Which be.
You see? That's Vince McMahon during a financial call when he was asked about, hey, do you see AEW as competition? And he said it. It's like, oh, they're doing the blood and guts and gory things. And sure enough, they're like, all right, we'll do our War Games, and that's what we'll call it. Blood and guts. So, I'm sure Vince, I wonder if he even notices. He says a lot of shit, so maybe he doesn't even know. Someone has to say, hey, you mentioned this. Whatever, I say a lot of stuff.
I mean, people are probably afraid to even bring up the letters AEW in his presence. So,
Yeah.
And also, one more thing about the coronavirus and how it may or may not affect the WrestleMania is not going to be affected because Vince is going to, I don't see him canceling that at all. But the Bella Twins are no longer scheduled for WWE WrestleMania Access, which is the signing in Tampa.
Yeah.
Because remember, they're both pregnant, and there's too many fears around.
That's even without a virus. When you're pregnant, there's a bunch of things you're not supposed to be doing, like flying, and of course, mingling and then touching hands. Because a common cold, anything could happen. You don't want to impact anything if you're pregnant. So that's understandable, regardless of this virus that's currently spreading. And it may be out of their control, though. I understand what you said about, they're going forward with Mania. But as you've seen all these conventions that haven't been going forward, and a lot of them, it's really not so much of their concern of the virus. It's like with California, state of emergency. So once that's out there, then people don't want to go. So if people are saying, oh shit, it's state of emergency, I'm not fucking going. I'm not risking my life to go play some fucking video games I don't like. And it was like, oh, all right. So then if no one shows up, why are we doing this? And that's why we see all these vendors stuff pulling out early. And people are like, oh, well, what if it's cleared up by then? Doesn't matter. Because just like as we know, and you're going to go to an event, we have to prepare, right? We have to look at ticket prices for flights, hotels. We have to do all this pre-prepping. And you want to do that months in advance because the closer you get to the venue, the more expensive these things are. So that's why we're seeing all this stuff happening now. And it's not, it's premature. Why are they freaking out? They're doing this because it's all about money. They want to make sure they don't end up broke and spend all this money to put on a big show at an event that no one attends. And that's why we're seeing it happen. Emerald City, that's the number of the comic convention. That one's gone. Or they say got pushed to the summer. A lot of them. That's the other thing. A lot of these are all saying the same thing. Oh, we're pushing this summer. GDC, we're pushing this summer. I'm like, how much time do you have during the summer? For everybody to start flying around the U.S. around that time, the summer's only a 2-month window. So if you're going to try to cram all these events, obviously they're thinking about their own venue. They're not thinking about the competition. And I'm saying these conventions are competition because people they only have so much money. And even small developers only so much money to go around to go and fly from one venue to another, and it's chaos. It's chaos right now, and we'll see what happens. Is it going to impact wrestling for live events? Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an interesting weekend watching soccer matches, because especially with Juventus, over people that watch Serie A and stuff, they're talking about how they are going to do just sort of like what you see in Mexico, where they're going to play the game in an empty stadium. It's a closed door event. And they're going to be doing their games like that. So the MLS season just kicked off last week. They haven't mentioned anything like that. One of their big teams, Portland Timbers, always have a sellout crowd. The Timber Army, their supporters, is a massive group. I mean, it's an amazing atmosphere that they have there, and I wonder how that's going to be, because obviously all these big cases that we're hearing, most of them are coming out of the Portland and Seattle area. Same thing goes with the Sounders. Sounders also have a big following. They also produce large crowds for their games. So are they all going to show up? Are these people cool with showing up? Is that what the league's really saying? Hey, it's up to you. You want to go? Go to the game. We're not fucking canceling out. We're not giving refunds.
I was going to say that last thing I heard, going back into the wrestling side of it, is that New Japan was canceling their live events for the first couple weeks in March, which includes the New Japan Cup. So they canceled all their live events because of this coronavirus thing. It's crazy.
This is nuts. It's nuts. It's one of these things. I mean, I'm not surprised. Someone from New York, you guys from New York and Boston area, we've seen it all. Ebola, West Nile, N1H1, remember? Zika. We've seen it all. We've had it all around us and seen the scares. And they come and go, come up with something to fix it or resolve it for a time being. But this is just another one to add to that list. This is it. I understand everyone's freaking out, but this has always been part of the scene. You know, I knew, it's funny because I knew someone who was a doctor. She's still a doctor. And we were talking one time about plagues. And she was like, the Black Plague is still around. I was like, what do you mean still around? I was like, yeah, it's like that's why we get our immunization shots, because if you don't, you can still catch it. We don't have a cure for it. We just have something that can help prevent you getting it. Isn't that crazy? So if you don't get your shot, you can catch the plague. It's fucking nuts. All right, well, that was happy segment 134 for the show. Hope you all enjoyed it. Also a little happy segment for our boy Taz, another fellow East Coaster who now has a full-time job over at AEW. Very happy for Taz. I'm glad. I'm glad to see he's doing what he wants to do, because when he was doing that radio, I don't know if you guys follow him. He had a national radio show, and he was doing a morning sports radio. It just didn't feel right. I just couldn't believe this is what he was doing with his life now. I know he wanted to be part of radio, but I couldn't see him as doing just general sports. So to see him back talking wrestling, it was great. It was great, especially he did the kickoff. People were like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" He was also doing the kickoff. He did some dark stuff, AEW dark, but he did the kickoff for the past AEW pay-per-view. It just happened. All right, so let's get to this Elimination Chambers pay-per-view. This is I don't feel like there's any hype going into this because it's so close to Mania. This is one of these pay-per-views that's like, it's not needed. It's not needed. You need this time, meaning the promotion, to build up your stories and your matches for Mania. You need this month just to build. Right? You guys agree, or what? Do you think this makes sense to have this pay-per-view?
The pay-per-view itself, I always liked. I always felt the timing was wrong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This timing is wrong, so everything here just feels meaningless. Like, once we start going through these matches, it's like, all right, well, there's nothing that stands out. It's like, wow, this is a pay-per-view match. Besides the gimmick of it being an achievement.
Have you ever said that about a WWE match in, like, recent 5 years?
I don't know. I feel like, there's always one or two matches we look forward to. There was a few. There's one Ricochet. I forgot what match he had. I think it was with AJ Styles. That was something I was looking forward to. But now they're just jobbing him out. So, all right. So let's get started. There's 7 matches on this card. All right. Mm-hmm. Who knows the order, but we'll go down all 7. First one we'll start off with is the Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. I didn't see this one coming. I understand if we go according to PW Insider and all the other dirt sheets where it is that this is Daniel Bryan's request. He's friends with Gulak, wants to help him out. Gulak is a solid technical wrestler. We all know this from 205 and from the Indies. There's no doubt he has talent and he's worthy of being in the main event. Well, main event meaning a pay-per-view. But I don't see where this is going. I haven't really seen anyone here know the story behind this? How did this even lead up? Is there a story behind this? Or is this the beginning of like some kind of feud?
I don't even know if it's the beginning. It's literally like a prequel.
It's a prequel.
I'll confess that like I haven't watched a whole lot of SmackDown lately because I just haven't had a lot of incentive to. But um, because I knew that we were having this show today, I made it a point to kind of stick it through tonight's episode of SmackDown, and I saw that there was a backstage segment where oh my God, Drake Maverick was talking with Drew Gulak backstage, um, and he was talking about how he wants to fight Daniel Bryan, and Gulak's like, "Oh, I know like over 100 something different weaknesses that Daniel Bryan has." And Bryan happened to be behind Gulak and said, "Oh, well, if you know what all my weaknesses are, how about you and I fight at Elimination Chamber?" And that
Hmm.
so Bryan basically challenged Gulak to a
Okay.
match.
All right. So then
That,
this is the start of something. This is going to be a good match.
He had a full PowerPoint presentation.
What was that, Dana?
He had a full PowerPoint presentation where he like
Oh well,
broke
that he's doing
everything
that
down,
again. He's doing that again.
like with a research paper.
I thought they
And then
scrapped
like he
that.
started tweeting about it.
Oh, all right. Because that was his gimmick before in 205, and then when he went to NXT for a while, they scrapped all that. And so, from what you described, sounds like he went back to that whole thing of doing
Hmm.
a gimmick. But all right. Well, if they get time, this could be a good match. They're both very technical, and they have a similar style, so I could see this being a solid match. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if there was any story behind it, so I'm looking forward to this. And I Daniel Bryan, he's all about helping others. We've seen that in regards to his matches, and if it could help somebody or a story get over, he'll do the job. It's not all about him. He's not one of those type of guys. So hey, why not? I say Gulak wins, whether he cheats or not, but he gets the win out of this. What about you, Dana?
I think that this match is just something that's just going to be fun in general. I don't think it really has like a big storyline, and I don't really see this going up to, let's say, WrestleMania. So I will have to say Drew Gulak for this.
All right, Rich.
Yeah, I say I think Daniel Bryan wins. If they want him to be on the Mania card, I mean, if you're not going to have Drew Gulak in a match again with him on Mania, then Daniel Bryan has to win.
You think Daniel Bryan's gonna be on Mania card?
Oh,
They're still adding matches to Mania. It's
But
not all
Oh, I don't
scheduled
think he's
yet.
gonna. I think this is his Mania right here. This is it. He's not gonna be on a Mania card, or he might be
Uh,
on the undercard. I mean, this is the whole point. If we go back to the tradition of Mania, it's supposed to be that all the big feuds that have been happening throughout the year all end at Mania. This is it. You get to see
well,
the final battles. This isn't a final battle. This is the birth of something new.
well. To go along with what you just said about this is a year-long culmination of stuff happening, we're getting Roman Reigns versus Goldberg at WrestleMania.
Well,
This is not no match that some of the people have been waiting to see and wanting to see. So
well, that's why it's not on Mania. I don't see this. Oh, you're talking about the Roman and Goldberg. You know what? But believe it
yeah,
or not, though, people do want to see that for some reason.
uh, maybe our good friend Ricky wants to see
Yeah,
it.
Ricky, you want to see? You're excited about this match. All right, first,
oh yeah,
all right, first. Do you think who's going to win this match, and are you excited for the Roman and Goldberg? So for this match first, who do you
okay.
think?
So this match, I think Daniel Bryan's going to win. It's going to be a thing where Drew Gulak will look like $1,000,000 in defeat, but I
Okay.
think it'll be Bryan winning. And I think that eventually Bryan will rekindle his feud with Sheamus for
Yep,
WrestleMania.
exactly. Because we've been hearing
And,
rumors about that for a while. That's a match that's going to happen. So
as
you
far
guys,
as am I excited to see? Am I excited to see Goldberg drop the Universal title again to one of Vince's chosen ones at WrestleMania? Am I excited to see Roman Reigns go against an old timer at WrestleMania? I think I've seen that already too many times. No, thank you.
Whoa.
wow.
Well, this allowed me to make one little quick side comment. Yes, I want Roman Reigns to win because I'm tired of Goldberg. So yeah, have him win the belt, and then that's it. And then he can have his feud with the Fiend, because I'm pretty sure they will try to have the Fiend after he beats John Cena. They will build the Fiend up again just so he can lose again. So yeah, just have Roman Reigns. Just give Roman Reigns the belt. I don't care.
And that response, Rich, is exactly why Vince pulled the trigger the way he did, because you know that if Roman Reigns went against the Fiend, people would root for the Fiend, and that's not the kind of reaction that they want. They know that people are going to turn against Goldberg, and at the very least, like again, it's WrestleMania. Vince McMahon does not trust his young talent, so he always goes back to the '90s. Always think that they're a draw, and then that's what we get.
You know,
exactly.
Fucking guy, man. It's weird because if we go back way back when Vince was talking about the wrestlers not reaching for the brass ring, and mainly because they're not allowed to go outside of the script. If they do, they can get in trouble for it. And we heard that again from even R-Truth when he talks about all the ideas that he comes with, where it's just off the cuff. It's not even part of the script. He's just winging these things, and then he picks up, and they're like, "Hey, all right, keep going with it." And then he'll ask for approval for some other stunts. But it was still him just breaking off script to see what works. A lot of guys don't want to do that. They're scared of losing their jobs. But you shouldn't have a work environment where that's the case. If someone has an idea, you should hear them out. They shouldn't have to break script and say, "Hey, did you like that?" No, and you're fired. What? You don't want that. So it sucks. It sucks that this is what we're leading up to, and that's. I don't know if that's going to be the main event, the Roman Reigns versus Goldberg at Mania.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
It's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre.
There you go. That's it. There you go. All right.
The problem with this is that no one has that ruthless aggression.
Well, it's just the mindset's not there. It's not there. They just don't have that because it's not there. There's a few things that could be factors. One, they're getting paid very well now. You know, almost everybody from the bottom to the top. I remember last I saw the figures were, even if you were on the card, but for the starting salary was like $150K. Wow. So you're still traveling around. You have to be there, or in some cases you don't have to be there, but you're still on call. You're still there. $150K for the year. That's not bad.
That's crazy. Because remember, Mick Foley got like what, $100?
Yeah. Well, it was a different time, and there's different expectations, with scheduling and work and this and this and that. But I mean, remember Dolph Ziggler was getting $990, almost $1 million for a year or 2-year deal or something like that. I mean, that's still. And then they wonder why he won't leave. It's like, because it's easy for you to say that when it's about creative. It's another thing when you see that money in your bank account. It's like, shit, this is how much I got paid. It's like, I'm not getting buried. I'm still popping up on events. He's still on TV. He did. Yeah, if you want to count him main eventing, but he did that match with Goldberg, and then he did the other show over in Saudi Arabia. So I mean, he's still relevant, and he's getting paid. That's a big chunk of change. Just like when Booker T was talking about Revival turning down that contract, $750K each. That's serious money. If you're thinking long term, that's money that there's no guarantee that they're going to make that type of money over in AEW. And they could say, "Oh yeah, it's not about the money," and I get it. It may not have to be. If you saved your money right and you're cool and you don't have to stress like Matt Hardy, then go ahead, do it. But for some people, I'm pretty sure if they like, "Hey, we can't guarantee you're going to be a top guy here for the next 2 years, but we could guarantee you're going to get close to $1 million plus bonuses on merch and stuff." I'm like, where's the contract? Let's do this. Let me sign. Because I'll take that money and I can invest it. I can do other things. I know that money's in the bank. As opposed to, shit, you can leave and say, you know what, I'm going to go. I want to be the super creative like what we're seeing with Mox, where he was doing all the crazy matches, trying to go back into the old days of CZW and hardcore. And next you know, he caught a staph infection. So it's like, that's the downfall of it. You could get sick. There's a lot of ailments out there. So, or you can get hurt. He got hurt and he got sick. And I appreciate it. I enjoy all art forms of wrestling, but I'm just thinking as you get older, and he's not younger like when he first started out, it's harder to heal from things. Things pop up. Look at Samoa Joe.
Oh, poor Joe.
He's got a bunch of issues, and now it looks like he has serious concussion issues, getting knocked out. So
and he's suspended.
Yeah, and he's suspended. So. All right, well, so I guess we all agree. You guys agree. Do you think Daniel Bryan The majority think Daniel Bryan's going to walk away
No,
with a
true.
win. Right? Oh, you
think
said
we're-
true. All right, so it's 50-50 then. 50-50 because I know Ricky said Daniel Bryan, and so did Rich.
Yes, sir.
There we go. All right, so the next match, this is for the United States Championship. This is, oh man, I don't know why I almost said what's his name, Alberto, but it's Humberto, Herberto. I'm messing it up already. Roberto Carrillo versus Andrade. Humberto. I can't believe I can't say Humberto. I can't do it.
Humberto Carrillo.
Humberto. All right. Humberto, because I can roll the R's with Andrade. Estrada. I missed that. Estrada.
Andrade Cien Almas.
It needs to be Estrada. I like Estrada better, but
Armando Alejandro Estrada.
I'm really surprised with this is going to be a fun match regardless, and I know Sienna, she's Vega is now Humberto's manager now, right? Because Andrade, she's been accompanying him down to the ring when Andrade was suspended.
No, it's not Humberto. It's what's his name? Garza.
It's Garza. Fuck. See, they threw him in my face so quick. It's like, all right, so it's Garza. All right, so she'll probably still be. Or maybe she could double cross. I could see her double crossing. Because if she's going to be backing the other dude and trying to get Garza and maybe try to help him get a title shot, who knows? I could see that happening too. But I'm still surprised that Andrade still has the title after that suspension. Because usually when you're suspended, as just a lesson, they'll strip you, they'll knock you out of your gimmick, your push, they'll do all that shit. But he took his suspension and he still had the title, and I bet it had to do with his fiance Flair. They probably don't want to piss her off. So I'm like, all right, well, you're suspended, but did they even say why he was suspended?
Performance enhancing substance.
Really? Because the last I checked,
Violation.
this shit is fixed, right? There's someone that writes a script, so what does it fucking matter? What does it matter? Oh, he's been juicing. Yeah, who wins tonight? The other guy. And it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, you can't juice anymore.
Why? Why?
Because they want to, take the side of like we're trying to keep our wrestlers healthy. Because that whole guy who went and killed his family and then himself.
No. He had other issues. He had brain damage.
He
That's
had other
the issue.
issues.
He
also had
They said he had close to dementia from all the
He
shots
had dementia.
There you
also.
go. Then that had nothing to do with steroids.
Yeah, but he also did the steroids. So they're doing
He
broad.
drank coffee too. I don't believe it.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so I think this is another one. This will be another solid match. You see, now when I was saying, I'm not excited for it. I'm not excited for it in regards to it being a pay-per-view. These are solid matches, but these aren't like, wow, I need to see this type of match. That's what I want to get a feel from a pay-per-view. The only things that I sort of get interested in is the gimmick itself of the chamber, but we'll get to that. But for this one, I think it's going to be a solid match, and I have a feeling that Andrade is going to get screwed. Selena, she's going to screw with him. I have a feeling this is a double cross. Because remember, most of the time in his title defenses, he needs her help to win. She does her Hurricanrana outside of the ring, and she interferes in some way to help. And I have a feeling she's going to cost him this. Something's going to happen.
Or she could get attacked.
She's all right.
Like
So,
Beth.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. But I think Andrade drops it. Why not? Move on. What about you, Dana?
That's just so. I mean, I do think that he will drop only because logically it would make sense for Humberto because he's new and up and coming. I don't know. I just don't see Andrade dropping right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it also doesn't make sense since they were like, well, if you were going to have him drop it, why didn't you just strip him when he was out on suspension?
Right. Or they could have just made it into the pay-per-view, and then there you go.
Yeah. But I have a feeling the end result is we're going to see a triple threat match at Mania between Garza, Humberto, and Andrade. I could see that. I could see a triple threat for the Mania for this. So, what about you, Rich? What's going on? What do you think is going to happen here?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm very disappointed that we are not getting that triple threat right now because on TV, Garza has been in a feud also with Umberto while Andrade has been out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Didn't they also have a match at the Saudi show?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That and that was a pretty good match. So, yeah, I say Andrade will retain, and as you said, they will have a triple threat at WrestleMania. That will be when Andrade gets screwed over by Selena, and perhaps Garza wins that. But we'll talk about that in a couple weeks. But yeah, Andrade is going to retain this weekend if it's up to me.
Wait a minute. Do you hear that? Do you hear
What's
that?
that?
It's something in my head. It's called fantasy booking. I have a little fantasy booking guy who comes into my head, and he predicts that at Mania, during that match, the lights go out. When they turn back on, the Monster Matanza is in the ring, and he just starts kicking ass. Because Jeff Cobb is a free agent. He can pop up anywhere. He's not signed to AEW, and apparently with his contract with Ring of Honor, it allows him to work elsewhere. So who knows?
Hold on a second. A free agent?
Only he brings Dario Cueto with him.
Oh, yes. Bring Quit. See, that's another manager. Now, he's officially an actor. But man, I would love to see him anywhere. Back into wrestling. AEW, WWE, I don't care. Yes, if he brings... Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. What were we going to say, Rich?
You said free agent.
Yeah, for Jeff Cobb. Because remember,
let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Let me just ask a brief question, and then we can jump back on topic. Who exactly is exclusive to AEW? I mean, not wrestling in New Japan. I mean, wrestling just for AEW.
There's a certain Kenny Omega. Jericho now is done with all his commitments that he had with Japan, so I think that's it. Cody. That's another one. The Bucks. I think it's Pac. I think Pac is also done with the stuff that he was doing over in the UK. You don't hear him getting booked on some of those shows. So it's a case by case. And I know that it was a lot of a discussion when Jeff Cobb showed up. Because they were like, oh, well, he's here. This is it. And then they came out like, no, he's a free agent. So they paid him for those appearances and for those matches.
I got you.
But he's still predominantly part of Ring of Honor. But he can go do other things. And I understand WWE passed on him many years ago when he didn't even get into NXT and he went to the Performance Center. But that was years ago. That was before Matanza. That's before he's doing all this craziness in the ring and proving that he can go. He's an amazing worker.
The reason why I don't think that he's going to go to WWE is because he still wants to work with New Japan, and WWE will not allow anyone on their...
Yeah. And then also, and then they'll probably give him some stupid gimmick. They're like, you know what? We had a guy like you. Do you know a guy named Umaga? Do you know Umaga? Can you put that face paint on? Can you be Umaga 2.0? It's like, no. It's like, but then again, I don't want to see him as Jeff Cobb. I just want the Monster Matanza back. I would love if they could just open up that wallet, that Fox Money wallet, and say, all right, how much does it cost to bring that character and your manager? Because that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Oh, I missed that. I mean, they got Killshot. I'm happy to see Killshot. Swerve, over in NXT. So I'm cool with that. All right, what about Ricky? Did you give your prediction on this one?
So I have not. I feel I don't watch a whole lot of Raw, but I feel like anytime that I turn on the TV to Raw, that Almas and Umberto are having a match with each other. I've seen it too many times.
Yeah.
As young and talented as these two are, I have no interest in seeing them have any more matches with each other. So I'm going to say Andrade retains, and I just don't care about the outcome either way.
All right, there you go. This is a no-throw match for you. No throws. Okay. It was a bathroom break.
Let me just add on to what Ricky had to say. I agree 100% with everything because WWE has, just like they kept having Rey Mysterio versus Andrade, now you have gone to this matchup over and over and over. Did I mention over again? So, yeah, I'm getting tired of it as well. It may be fun, but yeah, don't really care too much for the outcome. But I think it's pretty obvious that Andrade is going to retain.
All right. Well, whatever happens, happens. But we all pretty much agree that this is gonna definitely build up to a triple threat at Mania.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one, this one, I when I first started seeing the build up, and Rich, you know how I feel about this competitor here, Aleister Black. When I heard about this build up, this is it. He's getting his push. And then it's constantly getting jumped by the club, and they're constantly doing these little swerves, and even the gimmick attached to this, that it's a no DQ. It's Aleister Black versus AJ Styles. No DQ, of course there's going to be interference. So that pisses me off, because a part of me wants to say, well, they're going to show that he can prevail. He can prevail against the odds, AJ and the club, and everyone's attacking him, and he's still going to come away with the black mass and the win. But then on the other side, it's like, hey, that's not how this shit works. You know, in Vince's mind, no, it doesn't work that way. So we could definitely see AJ still get the win over this, because then again, this is going into Mania. So unless Undertaker makes some kind of appearance, or the lights go out and plays the mind games, you know, the Hell's Bells play, and while AJ is looking up at the ramp trying to see what happens, and once he turns around, Black mass of the face, that's the only way I could see Black winning this. But if not, then it's going to be it's a no DQ. He's going to get a beat down, and it's not going to be fun to watch. So I'll just stick with my gut. My gut says, yeah, Aleister Black wins. Undertaker plays a part in it, or some shenanigans with Undertaker helps. So I pick my boy Aleister Black, the future. What about you, Ricky?
I have the exact same prediction as you. I think it's a little too predictable that this is the build up for AJ versus Undertaker at Mania. AJ already got screwed at I was gonna say Crown Jewel at
that's it.
And he's gonna get screwed again, and he's gonna get hit with Black Mass, and Aleister will win. It'll keep him strong, and Styles will have more beef with Undertaker. So yeah, Aleister wins.
All right, Rich, what about you?
I also agree that Aleister Black is going to win. And the other point that I will make is that I am also disappointed, like you are, Adam, that they had to get the story to this point where you had to give Aleister Black the loss because, he couldn't stop the club. I mean, I would have preferred him just straight up losing to AJ one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like that at all. So, and Undertaker, I'll be curious to see if Undertaker shows up. I know he's a little upset with WWE at the moment. So I'll be very curious to see if he is still going to be there, because obviously they are building to that match with him and AJ Styles.
And what upsets me is that match, I don't want to see that match. I want to see Aleister Black versus Undertaker.
Yeah, that would be a far better match.
Yes, but it seems that Undertaker, this is the match he requested.
Really?
Yeah, he has that status, and apparently he requested the match with AJ Styles, because they were like, all right, we want you for Mania, you pick your opponent. And he wants to work with AJ. He sees him as another Shawn Michaels, so he feels that they have a similar style and that he could work with him. And he's had those amazing matches with Shawn Michaels, so it's like, all right, well, I know how to work with him, so I could definitely work this type of style. But man, I would have loved to see a build-up with Aleister Black and Undertaker with their gimmicks. They both have the dark gimmicks. Aleister Black, and I've said this before on the podcast, he never needs to talk. I don't know why they have him talking. He didn't even need a manager. That gimmick, that's his entrance alone. The darkness, him coming up like he's coming out of a crypt and all that stuff. It's awesome. It's awesome. He doesn't need anything else. The story is all in his performance and the tattoos and the straight face. How he's just, everything works. And then when they give him a mic and they have him talking and then have him do the whole closet thing, I'm like, why? Why are you doing this? Undertaker never had to talk. He had a manager, but even then, he never had to do anything, even when Paul Bearer wasn't around. And this is what they could have went with Aleister Black. He could have been the modern version of The Undertaker.
Yeah, and that would have been a great passing of the torch to to have him beat the Undertaker, but they have already wasted that opportunity with Roman Reigns. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, like it still throws me off after that match that Undertaker had at Mania, where he took off the hat and gloves and left it in the ring. You might as well erase that from history because that meant nothing. That meant nothing. That meant, you know what, their sweaty gloves and my hat don't fit, and I left it in the ring. Because, that's it. Because if it really meant something, he wouldn't be here. And the old saying goes, no one retires from wrestling. That's it. You just stop working because no one's paying you, but no one really retires. So,
yeah.
Man, what about you, Dana? What do you see for this?
Oh, goodness gracious. Here's the thing with this. Again, on paper, this seems like a very good match. I just don't think that it really matters. These all just seem to be something to put on it.
This one definitely doesn't matter.
So this is, again, it's a really pretty match, but the fact that there is no DQ, I do see that being used. But I also maybe could see an appearance by Undertaker where he's the guy who ends up going in and basically stunning AJ or doing some type of hit where, the lights go down, he hits him, the lights go up, and then Drew does the pinning. Not Drew.
Yeah. Black. You know what? Shit. The only way I could see this being interesting is if this leads to a triple threat at Mania. And they put Aleister Black. Because right now, the way it looks, Aleister Black, this is it. He doesn't have a match over at Mania unless he's going to be in that gimmick battle royal, which I'm sure they're going to do again.
That's where they just throw everybody who doesn't have anything to do in. That's where Ricochet will be.
Oh, fucking Ricochet, man. Don't get me started with that Ricochet. That's heartbreaking. That's just...
Well, at least I'm pretty sure that everybody on the panel can agree. They have done a lot more for Aleister Black in the short time that they have highlighted him on Raw than they have done with Goldberg all year, and yet he's still on the WrestleMania card.
But Goldberg's a name, though. That's why Goldberg's a name.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right.
That's the only reason why he's there. He's a name, and that's why when we heard about that tweet that Jericho sent out, talking about, people don't get it, but I get it. Goldberg means money. And people are like, he's throwing a little jab at him. That's a little wink and the whole thing. I was like, yeah, they had beef from before, but the truth is the truth. It is money. And I'm sure to the Fox execs, like, hey, we need something to help boost ratings on this show to lead up to something. What can you do? Well, we can bring you Goldberg. He's a big household name. And we can put that and we'll bring John Cena back. And it's just to build up. And that also helps to pop up on a poster, because old fans that have walked away, when they look at this card, they may see a bunch of names, if they don't follow the product, of people they don't know, and they're like, I don't know this guy, I don't know this, but they'll know Goldberg, they'll know John Cena. So they're like, wow, Goldberg, he's still relevant, look at him, he's still jacked, wow, and he's a champ. Shit, I have not been watching. So.
But then you're going into like the 50-year-old bracket. And
that's it. That's what I'm saying.
They're not the fans that will stick around.
No, they're not. They're not. This is exactly. This is a quick cash grab. This is the issue that everybody's bitching about. This is why they were upset that the Fiend had to lose this way. Why? Because it's what's best for business. On their end, they think it's best that a known person like Goldberg has the belt. He is the face right now, leading into WrestleMania, and he will be on that poster and those marquee signs, and that'll be more presentable than the Fiend. I'm sure we're gonna start seeing him doing interviews. Right? He's gonna have to do the rounds. That's usually what they do. They do. Wait.
Why have him win the belt at a pay-per-view no one watches?
Wait, hold on. Have
Goldberg do like the rounds for whenever they go into these things, they always do the rounds like Roman Reigns would go, Cena would go. They do the rounds of talk shows talking about hyping up Mania, doing interviews and appearances. You're not going to have the Fiend doing that for Mania.
Well, let me ask a question. Was Goldberg on SmackDown tonight?
I didn't see him. They showed his little video thing, but he wasn't.
Okay, well, yeah.
Actually, I say that, but I'm not so sure because they were doing I'm assuming this was the main event, a tag gauntlet, where all the tag teams
that was a tag gauntlet. That was their main thing on this.
And that's just a time waster. So I turned off the TV once they were starting that.
That's okay. And your TV thanked you. It thanked you for that. It's like, thank you. Save the wattage. You just saved all this money on your electrical bill. All right, so let me see. Oh, what about you, Ricky? Who do you think's going to win this one?
Which match are we talking about now?
I think you did tell me. I think you said it, Aleister Black, right? You think Aleister Black?
Yeah, I said that I agree with you. Yeah,
it only makes sense that he wins this one because AJ, unless it's interference, but it makes if he wins with the club, and then he goes into the match, which I'm pretty much right. It's pretty much assumed that he's going to lose. Undertaker's not going to take a loss at this shit.
He took a loss to Brock.
That's Brock. He's not going to take a loss to AJ Styles. I think that was a one and done. He's going to retire. I don't ever see Undertaker losing another Mania match.
Well, we know for sure that AJ will lose this match because of how he beat Aleister Black, the pin, and then mocking the Undertaker. So Undertaker, yeah, he probably is going to cause the win.
Oh, I'm having another vision. Another vision's coming. The other vision is at Mania. Undertaker's having his match with AJ. The club come down. Whole kind of brawl is going on. Aleister Black's music hits. He comes down to help Undertaker. And then from there, they continue on as a tag team. Back to Black.
You would have a better chance with Kane. That's not happening.
Unless you can make the Undertaker in his 30s again, no interest.
Yeah.
I just figured because it's a tag team, he can carry him. He won't have to always be in the ring.
Well, Adam, to go along with your theory, since, we know how Vince McMahon thinks, so if he doesn't do what you suggested, it's going to be Undertaker, Kane, and Aleister Black versus the club at WrestleMania. And I do not want to see that match either. So,
I don't want to see that. I still think Kane's going to be involved at Mania, though.
Yeah.
I definitely think he's going to be involved at Mania. All right, so we all agree on that. We feel that Aleister Black is going to get the win. So, and we pretty much all agree that we feel that Undertaker is going to have some kind of presence at this event, whether it's his music or something. I don't know if he'll actually appear, but he doesn't have to appear. They could just do mind game stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So the next match takes us into the tag realm. So we have the Street Profits, who just won this tag belt, right? They just won the Raw Tag Team Championship belt versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. And now here it is. We got the rematch. I thought there was no more rematch, right? Wasn't that the whole thing? It was like there's the rematch clause, that's out the window.
Oh no, that's scrap. That's back.
But I guess so, because they just won, and then now here it is at the pay-per-view. There's a rematch.
Well, you know why it's back.
Because no one gives a shit. They were like, oh no, we need this. We need to keep rehashing these matches.
Exactly, because there was nothing on this card, and because WWE is in trouble with ratings, etc., people are not happy with the product. So they have to try and say, okay, we got to change things up.
By having the same match again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. So, I feel
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. Go first. Go first with this one.
All right. The Street Profits are going to retain because it feels to me like Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens are going to have a match at WrestleMania. So, I mean, obviously, you can have Seth Rollins and Murphy win this match, but I don't really know how you're going to handle that. To me, honestly, the tag match for the Raw titles at WrestleMania, it should be AOP versus the Viking Raiders, because they have been having matches back and forth when they started this whole feud. So
well, Eric's sick. One of them is sick.
Oh, he is?
The Viking Raider. Yeah, he came back from Saudi sick, so he's been out.
Corona?
Nah, we don't know if he got cooties, but he definitely got sick. He got sick, so
Corona experience.
They're trying to, let him heal up, so he's out of the picture. So that's what believe me, I was thinking that too. I was like, you know what, maybe that would have been the match, if not for him getting sick. But because they just won the titles, so I don't see them dropping within a week or so. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
All right, so you say they keep it. What about you, Dana? They retain?
No.
What? What?
No. I really do like the Street Profits, and I do really think that they're going on a good streak right now, but I don't see them retaining for a long time.
Mm.
So maybe this match, fine, they'll retain, but the next one, nope.
Okay, so you see them winning this one. All right. Ricky, what about you?
I agree that Seth Rollins is gonna have his feud with Kevin Owens for WrestleMania. So I think that him getting the tag title back would be a distraction from that. So it just makes sense to have Street Profits retain.
I mean, none of this shit makes sense. Here it is. He has his own little group. Yet, him and Murphy, the two single competitors in the group, are the tag champs. You actually have a tag team. The Authors of Pain that are just like twiddling their thumbs up on the ramp. I don't get that. They should be doing this. And I understand, according to the dirt sheets and Meltzer, it's like, oh, well, this was done to get Murphy over. Murphy needed to get over. And they figured, hey, we got to put... well, no. Just have them do matches. They don't need to do this. I mean, now everybody doesn't understand what's going on with the Authors of Pain. It's just... They're in suits. It's silly. It's just silly. But so what do you think? You think Street Profits are going to retain, and that's it?
Yeah.
It makes sense. It would be silly for them to drop. Usually when we see these type of situations where they drop, they're known as transitional champs, like what Goldberg is right now. So I don't see the Street Profits doing that. No, doesn't make sense. Because they just won it from the same tag team, what they're going to lose it. Then again, I feel like they did that for, was it AJ or whoever that won a title over at Madison Square Garden during a house show? Remember? And they kept trying to hype it up. Like, oh, he lost it at the house. Oh. And then the next night on Raw, the champ won it back or something. All right. Dana, what about you?
The Street Profits.
You did say it. See, there you go.
I said yes.
I'm sorry. You know, I drink a lot. All right. So the next match, and this one just baffled me. Like when they first got announced, I'm like, no, this doesn't sound fun at all. And some people are like, well, it may be fun. You don't know. Yeah, I was like, shut your mouth. So it's Braun Strowman in a handicap versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Cesaro versus Sami Zayn. I mean, come on now. If Braun wins this, you might as well just fire the other three. Because you're putting them, you're burying them worse than you are Ricochet. Because this is bullshit. Individually, those three men are amazing competitors. Shinsuke is no joke. He's a solid wrestler. Cesaro should be in a Guinness. He's a freak of nature. I think he's stronger than Braun. Yeah, he's amazing. Sami Zayn, good on the mic. Okay in the ring, but he could take some good bumps. But he's still good. He's entertaining, El Generico, bring it back. So if we have Braun Strowman in a handicap and he kicks all three of their asses, come on now. What's the point? That group disbands and they all get their walking papers, right? Or at least request walking papers. I would definitely want to leave. I'm like, now this is embarrassing. It's one thing to do the job. It's another thing when you want to embarrass me. Because at least when Shinsuke's case, I mean, the dude was a main eventer all around the world, especially in Japan. He is quality. And now he's resorting to this. So, no. And this is for the title, the Intercontinental title. So I'm assuming whoever gets the pin gets the belt unless they're all going to share it. Is it going to be one of those? They could do that. That would be more entertaining if they decided to share. Because, like, well, they can make some stipulation. It wasn't really clarified in the contract. Just said we had to win. So then whenever they decide to have a match, they're like, all right, who's going to defend this belt? You think you can beat this guy? Okay. All right, then you here. We put the belt on the line. But I don't see Braun winning this. It would be horrible. If he wins this, it's embarrassing. No, don't. You can't make all these three guys look like jobbers of the week. You can't do that. If he starts stacking them up in the corners and doing big splashes on them, I'm telling you, I'm writing nasty emails. I'm doing nasty tweets. They're going to block me again. It's going to get nasty because this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
Cesaro have flashbacks, man, because you have to remember that a couple of years ago, the Bar were defending their tag championships against Braun Strowman and a little kid, and we know how that turned out.
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit. Really bullshit. And I don't think they're gonna rehash that Cesaro and Sheamus thing, right? That's not happening. Because then I would see that, well, if they did lose, Cesaro would be like, I'm done with this group. I'm done with this. And then you see him in the back, and he sees Sheamus, and like, hey, what's up? Hey! And then they do the Bar. I don't know. They get cheesy again. Whatever. But I don't see it. I in my heart, I really hope this is not the case, and I see the three winning this. One of them is going to get the pin. Maybe Shinsuke, so he gets the belt back. And then that'll build up for Mania, and then they could have a good match at Mania. But then again, it's a catch-22 being a big man. Because one, you're amazing to see. Everybody likes to see it. Vince definitely likes to see it. But when it comes to actually performing in the ring, there's only certain people you can perform with. And it's either you're going to do a David and Goliath, one real big guy and a little guy. But then when you have a medium-sized guy, then it doesn't really play out right now. I know that we've seen Braun do some amazing things. He does drop kicks and he does kick-ups and all kinds of craziness. But Vince doesn't like him doing any of that stuff. He wants his big men to stay as big men. So I don't think we'll see that, but I think that would be amazing to see, especially if he had a match with Shinsuke. Because then it'd be like, oh, wow, we didn't see that coming. Oh, he's pulling this off. He's getting on the top rope. What's going on here? But I don't know. For me, I want the three or somebody from the three to win. We can't have them get buried like this with Braun. All right, Ricky, what about you? What do you think's going to happen in this match?
Well, before I get into that, I do want to say that this match pretty much portrays the difference in styles with the way WWE does things versus the way other wrestling promotions does things. Because you look at Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, as you mentioned, all three of them are world-class pro wrestlers. You put them in any other promotion.
Oh, they're top guys. They'd all be top
guys. That's a dream match. The work rate is going to be incredible and everything like that. And it's like these are all main eventer type guys in other promotions. You put them in WWE, and they're being fed to a strongman, a pet project because he's big and muscular. That's how Vince does things. You're going to be very disappointed because Braun is retaining, and he's going to make the other three look stupid in the process because that's how they do things in WWE.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right,
I
Dana.
agree.
Oh, you agree with that? You see the same thing? So you think they're gonna? Well, so you think they're gonna win?
Oh! Braun Strowman is definitely retaining. This is his first title defense. So yeah, he's gonna win.
All right, Dana.
I would like to see Braun Strowman get that beat down. I'm okay with that.
He has to. That's what I'm saying. It's just if the people, a lot of these fans in the WWE universe, I'll say, and they like to chant and shit. Oh, you deserve it. They need to chant bullshit throughout this whole match, especially if Braun Strowman wins. This is straight up bullshit. Because come on now, this is bullshit. He doesn't deserve it this way. None of these other wrestlers deserve this shit. They should chant. Then you don't deserve this. Leave New Japan, chant AEW, chant anything. Hell, Impact would be better for these guys. This is embarrassing if they lose this.
I want to give you a flashback to 2013, where CM Punk had a handicap match against all three members of the Shield.
Yep.
And somehow Punk managed to win that. I thought that was a load of crap. But that's
we try to bring. See, there you go. Bring back bad memories.
It's like, oh my goodness. 1 versus 3. This is unfair. How will this guy possibly?
But wasn't that a tag? That they had to tag in, right? They weren't just attacking. I think they
had the tag in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's probably how this one's going to be too. To be honest,
they didn't clarify that. So maybe they will.
And also, if you still believe that they have stock in Shinsuke Nakamura, I would like to ask you, where have you been for the last couple of years? They did not give him the world title. Nope. And then you had him. It just, yeah. It's just they're not
He
high.
had his match against Brock. He did that. He was taking the Suplex City. Remember? So that wouldn't happen. So, but then everybody has to do the job. So that's just part of the job right there. That is the deal. That's like back in the day when you signed with WWE and Hulk Hogan said you knew if they put you against Hulk Hogan, you were doing the job. You weren't going over.
Absolutely.
So just be happy you're in the ring with him.
And Shinsuke obviously does not care about any of this stuff. This guy is looking at WWE as retirement. So
yeah,
I don't think
he's getting good money. He's getting, but that's the thing. If it was a one-on-one, different story. Then whatever. Hey, do the job, whatever it is. But when you have 3 versus 1, come on now. It's just embarrassing to the 3. Can't do it. You can't do it.
Here's something that maybe we're not factoring in is that, and I hope I'm not stealing Dana's thunder here, but this match might be a way to kind of show inner strife between the 3, because you have to remember whoever does the pin would become the Intercontinental Champion. So there might be one of these things where they'll tease having going for the pin, and the other one stops and is like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they start.
Well, yeah. Anything's possible. Let's say Cesaro wins, and then the other 2 start getting nasty with him, and then they jump him, and then we got Sheamus, and he comes down to help his buddy.
Fantasy booking.
They could do that. Yeah, fantasy booking. There you go. See, I'm coming up with ideas. If I was there, Vince would hear it, and then he would say, good. No, you're fired. Boom. Thanks.
Vince does not like any idea that he didn't come up with himself.
That's it. Well, we know that. We know that from the whole broken gimmick, Matt Hardy. All right, Dana, what about you?
I said
you
it.
Did? Oh, I heard him say something about stealing your idea, so I thought you didn't say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, she said Braun gonna get that beat down.
Braun can get the beat down. All right, let's hope for the best. All right, so then now we have the chamber. One of the chambers. This is it, the big one. Boom, 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 boom. I don't even know if they still play that noise when they lower it.
Yeah.
They still do that? All right, so we got Miz and Morrison. We got New Day, Heavy Machinery. Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler, Lucha House Party's even in this. God, shit. All right, so the Usos. So we have a lot of teams in this. Got these teams in this. This is very difficult. Because these type of matches, you know why it's very difficult? Because it's not so much about who wins, it's the performance, right? That's what the whole thing about. It's about spots. We know the Lucha guys were put in it because you need flyers and catchers. These dudes are gonna fly.
They were in there last. Remember, it was supposed to be the Revival, but they were in punishment. They're leaving.
It's fine. Fucking let them leave. Revive somewhere else. I'm done with them.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Lucha House Party, fine. Go in there, do your thing. Flip around, flip off the top. That's fine. But this can get real chaotic. Whenever they try to do these, especially with tag teams, a lot of people all locked in, it can get chaotic. So we're going to see some fast eliminations. So when it comes down to it, let's see. Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, I think will be the first team eliminated. Yeah, why not? Let's go with that. The Usos, I think, will make it toward the end with Miz and Morrison, because Miz and Morrison, they're really getting the push. They got the belts. I don't see them dropping that, especially not to New Day, who have been together way too long. Remember, they were supposed to go singles a long time ago, and they were going to do the whole big push with Big E again, and then they scrapped it. And then Kofi became champ, and they were like, "Oh, now they're definitely going to do it," and then they scrapped it. Xavier got hurt, and they were like, "Oh, we'll put him with Big E," and now they're a tag team. And the only thing that I can think of is that merch. They probably sell a ton of merch still, and until that dries up, they're like, "You guys are going to be a thing," and they're friends. And I don't want to end real life friendship. They travel, they're on the road. I get it, but you want new stories, want new competition. what is it? They have their own little jingle. 7-time WW. You know, that's all right. All right. Well, at what point it's gonna be like just start putting Roman numerals? Because I don't care. You've been here forever. We get it. You're tag team champs all over. I get it, but it's Miz and Morrison's return. This is their big cake right here. So, and the Usos just came back. So I could see them sticking around for a while. Heavy Machinery will probably be the next to get eliminated. Then Lucha House Party. So I think it will probably be down to Miz, Morrison, and the Usos. And I think Miz and Morrison they're gonna win this one. They have to. They just won the titles. It's too soon. It's too soon. You just can't flip belts like this because then they don't mean anything.
Well, they don't mean anything anyway, though.
Oh, kick it to the Ganoids. Oh, but think about it. Like, what are you going to do? What, you're going to give it to the New Day again? No need.
Yeah.
You're going to give it to the Usos? No, too soon. Save that for Mania. Let them have a match. The Miz and Morrison versus the Usos at Mania. I could see something like that. Heavy Machinery, those are catchers, the big men. You know, they're not gonna progress in this. Lucha, we already talked about them. They're the high flyers. They're gonna be jumping off the top of the cells and doing all that stuff. So, and then Rude and Dolph Ziggler I don't see them. It's just putting them in. I was like, hey, yeah, you want to be in this? All right, go ahead. Go ahead. But again, don't see them going for the title. Got to remember, this is for the title. So, a lot of bodies, a lot of teams, but really, who's going to walk away as a champ? So right now, I think it's all about Miz and Morrison. Morrison came back. Yeah, he had a poor showing at the Royal Rumble with Brock and the whole thing, but everybody has a poor showing against Brock. It's just embarrassing. So I'm not going to knock him for that. So I'd say Miz and Morrison win, but it eventually ends up just being the New Day, Miz Morrison, and the Usos for like the latter half of that match. All right, what about you, Dana?
I see Lucha House Party getting eliminated first.
But all right, I would have agreed with that if not that you want to see them pull some crazy shit off the top. That's what they're there to do.
Something crazy, and then you're eliminated.
But you need bodies in the ring to catch. You know what I mean? So it's
that's what Heavy Machinery is for. So Lucha is first. Then it's going to be Rude and Dolph Ziggler. Okay. Then I see the Usos going, but they're going to have a great little thing with the New Day. But the Usos, then a New Day. And only reason why I say Miz and John Morrison, because one is way too soon. But honestly, I would prefer if the Usos won, just solely because the Miz and John Morrison, that whole team, and even John Morrison's return in general, has been really flat. I don't know a single person who cares. When they come out, it's boring. No one cheers or boos. And it was kind of like the first time where you kind of see the Miz not getting any reaction. And that's because he's paired with John Morrison. It just didn't work. I don't know if it's timing. I don't know if people moved on. It's really been like around 9 years. So no one really knows who the heck John Morrison is. And he didn't go out and make a name for himself.
He did Lucha Underground. Come on now.
People watch Lucha Underground. Where's Lucha Underground now?
You know what? You don't have to make me feel bad. Because I still watch Underground. I bring them up any chance I can. I still have all their stuff backed up on my server because I love watching those matches and the gimmicks. That was awesome. We still never found out what happened with the voodoo doll. Remember? There was a little creepy voodoo doll that was controlling one of the dudes part of his group.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
I miss it.
Because no one else watched.
It's already network. It wasn't everywhere. By the time it got syndication everywhere, it was too late.
It was on Netflix before then, so don't even.
Season 1 and 2, yeah, and Netflix. Man, things would have been so different because I don't know if you know about that deal, but originally they were going to buy Lucha Underground. If they would have bought it, they would have fucking put all their money in advertising. Everybody would have known about it. But instead, they decided just to put the first 2 seasons on to see how it goes, and they just didn't really. Yeah, nobody knew about it. It was really depending on word of mouth, and a lot of people weren't talking about it. I know I was. We talked about it on the show all the time, even on Throwdown. At the end, my send off every time was go watch Lucha Underground. Go watch Lucha Underground. So,
but again, John Morrison has not made a name outside of the company, and it's been 9 years.
He's been champ outside the company. He was the champ at Impact. And people say, "Oh, no one watched." Yeah, but you know what? They watched fucking Matt Hardy doing his broken shit.
Yeah, so, because Matt Hardy had a way of making it original. John Morrison does some slow-mo walk, and that's it.
Oh no, he's awesome in the ring. He does parkour. He's flipping and flopping all over the place. He's got cool hair. Didn't you see his Bounty Hunter movie? That shit was awesome. Boone the Bounty Hunter. I loved it. He had Kevin Sorbo in it. He was hunting him down. Hercules. He was hunting Hercules down.
How many people sit and watch Kevin Sorbo?
I do. Hercules for life.
Okay.
For life.
Today's generation does not know who that
Andromeda? Is. You're missing all the classics. All right. Well, whatever.
Well, I know who Kevin Sorbo is. The point that I'm saying is no one knows John Morrison. He's boring. At all. They paired him with The Miz, who is charismatic and everyone loves him. Even when they hate him, they love him. He has his own.
The Miz. I don't like The Miz. I prefer Morrison over The Miz.
Okay, Grandpa. Well, you're the only one.
Damn. Age is just a number, man. Age is just a number.
It's just a number. Right now, it's a pretty accurate depiction of where you're at.
That is wrong, man. Huh? Everybody in this is old. Think about it. Who's the youngest one here? I think one of the Lucha House Party guys is in his 20s, but everybody else is not.
Isn't the Usos in their 30s at least?
That's what I'm saying. The Usos in their 30s, but I mean anyone younger. I think one of the guys from the Lucha House Party, he's young.
I don't know.
Let's see, Dorado. Let me see. He's probably like. You gotta look up, but he's probably like 28. I'm gonna just.
And there you go. He doesn't even know who John Morrison is. The 28.
32. Lindsay Dorado's 32. Grandma Talik is 31. So they're definitely by far the youngest.
There you go. See, bing, bing, bing. I win.
You do win, but they don't even know who John Morrison is. They look at the card. They're like, who?
He was in AAA. They know who he is.
Oh no, I stand corrected. It's Heavy Machinery because Otis and Tucker are 28 and 29 respectively.
What?
Lajutel?
Holy crap! Oh shit!
No.
They need that Asian Pearl cream. They need something to keep them young because they don't look it.
No, they don't.
They do not look it. You know what? It could be the beards. It's the beards.
It's not the beards.
Beards make people look old.
It's way more than the beards.
All right, so who do you think's gonna win? Obviously, you're hating on Miz and Morrison.
Who's going to win will have to be Miz and John Morrison, only because it's way too early. But I would be perfectly fine with it going to the Usos.
They've won too many. All right, fine. Rich, what about you?
Let's go to Ricky first.
Oh, Ricky, what about you?
Okay, I'm not gonna rack my brain about what order of who gets eliminated. This is a elimination chamber that doesn't hold my interest either. But I'll say Miz and Morrison retain, and I think that what they'll do is they'll have Heavy Machinery make it to the end, and because you gotta have that one surprise team that the fans will get behind and think, they might actually pull off an upset. They might do this thing, the whole thing with like Santino Marella almost beating Daniel Bryan in the Elimination Chamber a long time ago. They might do that with Heavy Machinery, but Miz and Morrison will retain. I don't care otherwise. I just think that it's too early to drop it from Miz and Morrison. So
too early for them to get them.
I will say one thing, actually, about the old day.
I agree. They should have changed their name a long time ago.
Yeah, there's nothing new about the New Day. While at PAX East, I went to the Up Up Down Down panel, and Xavier Woods, he was doing the panel by himself.
Damn.
And someone said to him, "When are you gonna turn heel?" And he responded to that person. He said, "When one of us turns heel, all three of us turn heel." So
Oh,
New Day's never splitting up.
Oh, shit. Oh, I don't know if I wanted to hear that. That's not what I wanted to hear, Ricky. That's not
no,
what I wanted to hear.
It's not what any of us wanted to hear, but
No,
that's what he said.
All right, Rich. What do you got? What do you got?
So yeah, I much like Ricky, I don't really care about this match, but I will say this: what happened on SmackDown in the main event tonight made me reconsider a different winner for this match. Heavy Machinery was in the Gauntlet match tonight, and they got to the end only to lose. And of course, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode won the match. Now they've been telling the story for a while now about Dolph Ziggler now being the one who stole Mandy Rose away from Otis. Blocked him from getting that. That story will have a payoff at WrestleMania. But I think in order for that to happen, if it's not a one-on-one match, you're going to need to have Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode win those tag titles, and then you're going to have Heavy Machinery somehow get a title match. See, if I was a WWE booker, I wouldn't have had Heavy Machinery in this match. I would have had them win a number one contenders match, and then have Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode win the titles, so that they have their match at WrestleMania. But obviously, that is not what they decided to do. And then they decided to say, we're not going to have the Revival in this match, which doesn't make any kind of sense, because that could have filled the void instead of having Heavy Machinery in this match. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and we saw that earlier. Well, no. That's actually the next match. But the fact that it is one of those type of situations where, hey, stipulation is whoever wins this gets an actual title shot, as opposed to putting a title shot in this match.
Yeah. So, but I mean, my pick is, I'm gonna have to say, just based off of what I saw, it's probably going to be Miz and Morrison. And I do agree. I believe that Dana mentioned this, you mentioned it, and Ricky mentioned it. If there is a tag match at WrestleMania for the titles, probably going to be Miz and Morrison versus the New Day and the Usos, because they, for some reason, love to have us have the Usos versus New Day over and over again.
That's what I'm saying. It's too much. Don't want to see it. I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, I'm not either. But we'll see what happens. I would love to be wrong. And
So you agree that Miz and Morrison, they're going to retain this? They're going to win this.
I really want Heavy Machinery to win these titles at WrestleMania. I mean, it feels like this team, you could do a hell of a lot more unless you're going to just have Otis be the one that has a singles run. But it feels to me like you need to do something with this team, because they've been there for a while, and they are really over with the fans. So I don't know what's going on with that. But we'll see. But yeah, Miz and Morrison, maybe. We'll see.
So we all gave our predictions for this one?
Yeah,
we did that one. All right, so this leads to the main event, which I think eventually will be the main event. This is for the chance to have a match at WrestleMania for the women's title. And this has Natalya, this has Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan, the Deer Hunter. Man.
Good Lord.
Yeah, when I saw this, and I'm like, all right, it didn't really make much sense, because Shayna has got her own feud already. Baszler's doing her own thing. She's got the stuff going on with the, what's her name? With the man. Oh, I can't believe I'm blanking on her name. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch. Damn, out of sight, out of mind. I don't even care. But yeah, Becky Lynch. She's doing that whole feud. We know that's going to be a match for Mania. We know it. So why is she even put in this match? No one thinks she's going to win this.
I believe you said this earlier. Once again, this is a match put on for the sake of we need to fill some type of match on this card. So we're going to make it, even though it's very obvious that Shayna Baszler is going to win the match. We're just going to be like, no,
You
we
think
have
she's
to.
going to win this match?
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. Who else is actually?
No, but I thought it was guaranteed that she already had a title match.
Oh no!
Didn't she? That whole thing of biting Becky, wasn't that? And then Becky is saying, "All right, you want some of this? This is it. You're gonna get it." I thought that was it. That they already solidified that they were having a match.
I mean, when the bite happened, I thought that was it. I thought that is the match. I don't understand why you have to have her in this elimination chamber.
Yeah, why is she jumping through another hoop?
Yeah.
We definitely know Sarah Logan's not going to get it. Come on now. No. Ruby Riott, not happening.
Yeah, I mean that to me, when I saw the match, I thought this has to be a joke. Because just like you said, Sarah Logan, right? The person that has been taking L's ever since she came to the main roster, now all of a sudden, you've earned that. You've earned yourself a match, this type of a match now. For a chance to actually win? No.
They could have sprinkled in some NXT stars in this. They could have did that. Say, hey, this is for a chance for a title shot. Why not? It's open to anybody in the WWE universe over here. Any of the superstars. So they could have did that, but nope. Liv Morgan, she just came in. I don't see that happening. Natalya, yeah, I guess that could have worked, but man, that really threw me off. I thought Shayna Baszler, that was a guarantee match at Mania. I thought that was it.
They want to make it official. You know, like whenever they have in the past, we've seen there's a match you obviously know is going to happen, but they have to let the storyline play out the way that they're writing.
I guess it's because of the swerve, because we all thought Baszler was going to win the Rumble, and she didn't win. If she would have won the Rumble, then I guess that would have been a done deal. And they were like, nope, we swerved you, but she's going to win another big match that guarantees her, and that's probably why we see the stipulation. So that way, for the general public, like, oh, why did she have a title shot? She just came from NXT. Well, this is why. When really, she shouldn't have to. I mean, she was NXT champ for a long time. She was a dominant champ. She fought everybody. Do a little package showing her kicking everybody else's ass. Do something.
Yeah.
So, oh man, if that's the case, this is whack. Then yeah, of course Baszler wins this. Oh, and I'm upset. I'm upset. Well, then, if that's the case, then yeah, Baszler wins. If not, the only other person I could have seen was going to be Asuka, and then Asuka would go in. But no, that's not going to happen. Because now it's Baszler. It's definitely Baszler.
See. Let me just add this point real quick, and then you can go to Dana and Ricky. They made the fact that they had Asuka face Becky Lynch in a title match weeks ago. It's like anyone that watches, you saw how that, and then that's when Shayna showed up, and you saw Asuka take the loss. Anyone that sees that and then thinks, oh, Asuka is going to definitely win the Elimination Chamber. I mean, come on, son. That's pretty obvious that Shayna Baszler is, I mean, the storyline is about Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch. So that's why I don't understand why they went all over this. This whole process is just jacked up how they did it. You could have just had the match happen without her having to earn the match. It doesn't make any sense.
Because then I was thinking, well, they could have Kairi Sane on the outside, and maybe she helps out. She does something, throws in a little capsule or something for her to do the mist, for Asuka to do something. But yeah, it doesn't make sense because it looks like they've been building up for Baszler, and I thought that was a done deal, but it looks like it's not a done deal. So, oh man, then this sucks. All right, Dana, what about you? What do you think's gonna happen? You think we're gonna get a swerve, or Baszler's winning this?
Here we go. So, how I see this coming down is first one to be eliminated. We're gonna have Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan basically go at each other for the entire time. I do see them eliminating each other. Hopefully, it's gonna be Liv first, then Ruby, then Sarah, and then it'll be down between Shayna, Asuka, and Natalia. Natalia gets no respect whatsoever, despite basically being the grandmother of the wrestling.
Well, she's been in these spots before. She's been there. She's the veteran when it comes to these type of things.
Yeah,
Not just
she's
as Max up, but just in general into women's division. She's definitely been there longer than all of these competitors.
Mm-hmm. And she doesn't really win anything, so she's going to.
But she has one. That's the thing. You can't say she does. She has won a title.
Congratulations! You've been here for 80 years and you've won one.
Hey, she's winning in life because she has that name. Okay, that Hart name made her a winner because they know if she leaves tomorrow, AEW or any of those other promotions would easily pick her up because she's part of the Heart. I mean, hell, Brett showed up to give the belt over in AEW when they debuted the belt. Don't tell me. She's golden, and she knows how to work, so she could back up the name.
She's golden. She knows how to work, which further proves that she needs to be out of WWE.
Whoa!
And AEW,
you're going too far.
As a manager and also as a trainer, because their women's division is horrendous.
Oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that. We already seen other women's division. Ring of Honor one is horrible. AEW one is real bad too.
Yeah, which is
Impact is solid. I gotta say, Impact has a solid women's division. So you see a lot of. That's why you see a lot of poaching. A lot of poaching coming out either from trying to get WWE guys or people from Japan, and definitely from Impact. Yeah, that's where the Dr. Brooke Baker. She's from there. That Stratlander, she's also from there.
Yeah, we all seen Britt Baker wrestle, so.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Boy. Well, there's only a handful that actually know what they're doing.
And it's not Britt Baker.
No, it's not. Oh damn! Here we go.
Okay, so after Natalia is eliminated, I do see it between Shayna and Asuka, which will be lovely, and I would appreciate that very much. But obviously, we all know that Shayna's gonna win.
Got another fantasy booking popping up in my head. They're gonna show Baszler off as the new Brock. Once the buzzer opens, when they ring the buzzer, the next person's in, she's gonna destroy them. Next person, she's gonna destroy them. It's gonna be like that. At least 2 or 3 competitors. She's gonna be by herself.
Yeah, but you don't.
From the ring. It's gonna be a squash. They want to make her look strong.
She can't look strong, but Liv and Ruby have to take each other out.
What do you mean take each other out? They have to fight. Someone has to pin them.
Yeah, they're going to be busy fighting, and then someone gets distracted, and Shayna comes in and then take them both out. But I see them having their own whole separate situation going on.
I don't know what they're going to go with that because that's definitely not a WrestleMania match. Maybe a kickoff match or something, but I don't think anyone's anticipating seeing Liv Morgan versus Ruby Riott. And I understand she just came back from some horrible surgery. She had both shoulders were operated on, right? Mm-hmm. That's fucking horrible. I've had surgery.
Wasn't Liv just also involved with the Lana situation?
Yeah, they were trying to do that with being the love interest and the whole thing, and then they just scrapped it. I guess it wasn't going anywhere. They didn't know where to go with it.
It backfired terribly. Like when you have the gay community ready to kill you.
Whoa.
Yeah, because there's actually a female gay. She what's her name from?
Tony DeVille.
Yeah, but what's the group name? It's
Desire.
Fire and Desire. Yeah, if they already had that whole thing planned out, and everyone knows, especially because she's on that Total Divas, and then she doesn't get that part. If you're gonna put that in the story, come on, that's a smack in the face. Smack in the face.
Then there you go. Then if we're gonna have someone, no, it's a chamber. It's not. You can't get in. Darn. I was thinking that there could be some type of distraction, but it's a chamber.
It's a chamber. The only way it could be a distraction is if when they open up the gate to let somebody out, somebody runs in.
Yeah, no, it's pretty.
They won't do that.
I like your Shayna takeout thing. That's a good one.
There you go. All right, Ricky, what about you? Because, no one seems to know, right? This is going to be one of those amazing, whoa, anything can go.
Are we sure that this is a main event?
No, but they've been putting these... there we go. We are sure. It's listed as number 1 online as the main.
This has been one of the most heavily advertised.
Yeah, so that's why I left it. I'm assuming this is
That's too bad then, because like there's only like maybe 2 people out of the 6 that are deserving of being main eventing a pay-per-view here. This is like bad. Uh, the Elimination Chamber is the attraction here because I'm not seeing the interest as far as the competitors, especially when again they've telegraphed who's going to win this, which is Shayna Baszler. So I've already spoiled that prediction for you, but I just want to mention that the Wrestling Observer newsletter had their awards for 2019. Best weekly TV show. They had a list of 10. This match, in fact, this pay-per-view is why neither Raw nor SmackDown made that top 10. None of them made it. The only WWE show that made it was NXT at number 2. It is poverty level. You're gonna get your what do they call Riot Squad reunion happening or tease during this match.
No one
You'll
cares.
have you'll have your Shayna Baszler Asuka thing where really you have 2 heels, but people are gonna pull for Asuka, and it's not gonna matter because Asuka is currently one of the tag champions. She's not gonna go for a solo belt, and Shayna Baszler bit Becky Lynch's freaking neck. It's obvious who's going to win this. She's going to win it convincingly.
And let me also add that Asuka is currently in a feud with Natty. So I would not be surprised if Natty eliminates Asuka because Natty still hasn't gotten her comeuppance over Asuka yet. So that could happen. If Asuka is seriously hurt with this injury, then I would not be surprised if she gets eliminated quick.
So, see, under that logic, that means everyone has a feud except Shayna. So
yes.
She's just in this. Meanwhile, everybody's paired up.
Yeah.
Seriously, like I'm looking at this entire card. The only match on the card that if I were running things, would put on a main event for a pay-per-view is Aleister Black versus AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that match has not been booked to mean anything. So that's why it's going to be on the bottom of the card. This is why I'm going to be doing something else Sunday night.
Damn.
Yeah,
to the club.
I agree.
I just have no interest. This reads like an episode of SmackDown.
And people, that's why I opened up the show with, hey, you may not want to watch this pay-per-view, so at least you could hear what you're going to miss, and who cares, right? Because it doesn't sound like you're going to miss much. Nothing here really matters leading into Mania. This isn't like a build-up, and that's what sucks. But then again, I think what hurts also is that we had the Saudi show also. Too close. 2 shows too close. They're trying to advertise everything. They're trying to squeeze. They're trying to do the Carney thing. Vince wants to have his cake, eat it too. Just throw all these pay-per-views, Vince. It's like, oh yeah, everybody jump in. You know, but it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. No one's going to care.
It's too much filler, especially when everyone should be focused on WrestleMania, which is only like a few weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, not to throw things off too much, but this is where AEW gets things right. That you have a pay-per-view every 3 or 4 months, so you have time to properly build these feuds. You have time to make these matches matter instead of shotgunning these 2 or 3 week feuds where no one cares about the outcome because you've seen the match already 1,000 times on these weekly shows. You don't get that in AEW. So.
WWE, they put themselves in a pickle when they started making these pay-per-views every month. Every month had a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah, and that all started with the In Your House.
Yeah.
They started doing it every month, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's like two a month now.
Yeah, this is nuts. Yeah, it's sometimes even more if you throw in NXT ones.
Yeah, but at least the NXT ones are quality.
Yeah,
this stuff is horseshit.
Yeah.
Well,
it brings up the whole case of it being too big. It's too big. There's too many superstars. The talent, the roster's massive. I don't know how many people they have part of creative, but it always sounds like it's just a handful, and they're writing for Raw and SmackDown. It's just, you can't do it. You can't do it. And there's only so much TV time, and they want to give long stories. They have to figure something else out, because this scheme here, this formula they're using, it's not working. It's burnt out, especially for people like us who've been watching this for way too long. We've seen it all before. We looked through it. It's like looking at a painting that has everything spread out. It's like, oh, do you see it? Yeah, I see the unicorn in the middle. How do you see that? Well, because we've been looking at it for so damn long. So we see through all of this, and everything just stands out like the Matrix. We know what's going to happen, and it sucks. It shouldn't be that predictable.
I mean, not everyone will agree with my take on this, but I believe that brand split or no brand split, there should only be one main event men's belt, one main event women's belt.
Yeah.
Total. If you had this Elimination Chamber for the WWE Women's Championship, not the Raw Championship, not the SmackDown Championship, the Women's Championship, where anyone from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT could compete, you could fill that chamber with 6 awesomely talented women that WWE have. It would be a knockout main event. Instead, you have this shit.
Whoa!
Yeah. Well, remember that their whole reason of having it this way was because they wanted to build their own competition. They were like, well, we have no competition outside, so we'll build our own. And that's when they were trying to say, oh, our ratings. Remember when they cared about that? They're like, oh, our ratings are better than your ratings and our team. And they bring that up every once in a while for Survivor Series to make it seem like it matters. But yeah, I agree. They should squash all of that. Just put it under one umbrella.
They want to. It's like they want to bring back the ruthless aggression era, like brand pride and everything like that, or like what's that, bragging rights when they did that too. I think that you guys all make a great point as far as Elimination Chamber, the timing being poor, because Elimination Chamber is a very awesome gimmick for a match. It's just that if you're doing it between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, people aren't going to care enough, especially when they don't like to take chances in those months in between.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. I'm old enough that I remember the original Survivor Series and then their tag formats and all that stuff, and I loved it back then. It's not as interesting to me now. I think that what they should do with Survivor Series is you just make it the Elimination Chamber. You put that, you put that in November. You make Elimination Chamber in November, but you rebrand it as Survivor Series, and it really lives up to its name because you're trying to survive in a chamber against other people. You know what I mean? And there's so much potential, so many matches that you can do with that. Instead of just putting it as a filler pay-per-view before WrestleMania. Yeah. It's a shame. Again, it really is.
They're not paying attention. They're just trying to squeeze everything in. And like, oh, fuck it. And they feel that they're giving something to the network.
Can I make a quick comment also? Yep. I agree. I very much love this conversation, and I agree with what everybody had to say. But let me just add one thing to what Ricky said. I do believe that WWE is capable of building a storyline if they commit to it. Because case in point, how they have been building this whole thing with Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. Before that even happened, they was changing Drew McIntyre's character to try to get him in with the fans. And so I feel they really, it's about being lazy and inconsistent, because they are committed to some of the stories, but then the others, it's like, well, let's take this roundabout approach to pretty much try to put this match together. And so they can, if they really are committed, but they choose their favorites, who they want to really highlight, and then they make that a priority over the rest of the card, where you can easily have a lot of these other matches also be better told and better built up than they are right now.
I think they have no choice, though. They just, the talent roster is massive. Like, that's the thing. People are like, oh, well, AEW doesn't know. Yeah, AEW only has like 30, 40 guys. They don't have in the hundreds like WWE. If they grow and they have to the point that they have to spill over into different shows, then we'll probably see a lot of the same of what's happening here. Because not everyone can win. Not every story is going to work. Not every wrestler is going to be in an interesting storyline. And that's where it gets complicated. It's the juggling act. So then if that's the case, and that's what we all agreed on, then cut some of these pay-per-views and give more TV time and story time to the others to cook. Put them back in the oven. Let it cook up again. That way we can all get interested and get invested. So that way when Mania does come, then yes, every match has something worth watching. Oh, I want to see what happens in this one. Oh, I remember for the past month and a half, this crazy feud's been going on with these two. We don't have that.
I just find it funny how you already have the Universal title match booked. You already have the WWE men's title match booked. You already have the NXT women's championship match booked. But yet, we don't know how we're going to handle the Raw women's title, even though it's very obvious. Becky Lynch. We got to take a roundabout way for her to get to Shayna Baszler. And we don't know what we're doing for SmackDown women's title either. But that's why I say they pick and choose. Vince said, "Yeah, I got to make sure Roman Reigns got his match. He's all set. Goldberg, he's all set. Drew McIntyre, Brock, he's all set. Yes, and of course Charlotte, she's all set. She got Rhea. So they pick and choose which things they want to get done, and then the rest of it, it's the roundabout way to tell the story."
Yeah. Well, there you go. If people have nothing else to do, then go ahead. Watch it. If you have the network, why not? Watch it. If you don't bother. And if you have other things to do, going to the club, hanging out with family and friends, watching them, whatever, don't feel like you're missing out. Because it really looks like no, you're not missing anything on this one. You can just read the results. Yeah, it's true. It's true. This is a filler. This is a filler. This isn't a Mania. This isn't a Rumble. This isn't anything of worth. Yeah, there may be one or two little matches in here that might stand out, like we mentioned the earlier matches. But besides that, everything else just seems like a filler. All of this doesn't build up to anything. So there are.
I was going to say, if we don't get an Edge Orton segment, then there'll be nothing totally interesting in this show.
It's not happening.
We are getting that segment.
Where?
On Monday Night Raw, the night after the pay-per-view.
Yeah. There's nothing here.
Yeah, they've already confirmed Edge is going to be on Raw Monday, so that's when you'll see that.
Oh, so they spoiled the surprise then. Jeez.
Yeah.
I hate this company.
It is what it is. That's the life over here in WWE. Well, everyone, that was our predictions for Elimination Chamber 2020. Right? So watch it if you need to. If you don't do something else, whatever. But at least now you know what was going on and what was worth watching. If any of these interest you, go ahead. If not, whatever. All right, I was your host, Adam Vale. I'm here with Dana again. Dana, you got anything to say to the peoples?
Thank you for listening, and watch AEW and other great wrestling organizations.
Richard Bailey Jr.
Yes, thank you all for listening. And if you are someone who loves wrestling, do yourself a favor and skip Elimination Chamber on Sunday night.
Yeah. Ricky?
Pro wrestling is back, as the new AEW champ John Moxley said, and I totally agree. If you love pro wrestling, there's lots of content to see. AEW is among them. New Japan, Impact is putting on some good stuff. There's lots of stuff you can watch. If you want to watch sports entertainment, you might not be entertained on Sunday, so you might just want to pull up the network and watch some old pay-per-views. It'll be more worth your time. If you really just are a masochist, I don't know. Maybe it surprises. Maybe they put on some good matches that we don't expect. It's entirely possible. WWE has put on some pay-per-views before that have exceeded expectations. I would just set the expectations very low for this one.
All right, and on that, if you want some other content, check out thecoalition.com. We all have pieces written up. There's all kinds of great material out there and a redesign. The site's beautiful. We've got a lot of different things going on there. So go ahead, check that out too. Thanks again for downloading, listening, just keeping it in the background. Do whatever, but it's always fun, right? We just get to talk wrestling. We all like wrestling. You guys listen to wrestling. We all enjoy it. It is what it is. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. So we will see you at the next pay-per-view, and I think the next one is Mania, right? That's it. I don't think AEW has it. Well, because even Blood and Guts, that's just a Dynamite show. It's not even
Right.
a pay-per-view.
I think Double or Nothing will be the next pay-per-view for AEW, and that's like in May. I think.
That's in May. So
NXT.
all right, people, we will be back before the predictions for WrestleMania. So everyone, have a good weekend. Talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.